Magandang araw sa inyong lahat.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening po sa lahat ng nakikinig po.
Hello to all our viewers from here and around the world.
Napakaganda na ating talentayman ngayong hapon ito.
Isang mainit na pagbati po sa inyong lahat.
Well, friends,
welcome to the Bridges Show. I'm very happy to be here, and I think it should be a really interesting and fun topic.
But there are things you want to learn. So I want to take it from there and then I listen to them.
meron silang mga mithiin upang maging makabuluhan pa ang pagiging Katoliko. Lalong-lalo na sa susunod na henerasyon.
Sa akin po, sa mga kabataan, use competence as a basis.
In real life, hindi naman talaga tayo tumitigil sa buhay. Kailangan talaga tuloy lang ang buhay kahit anong challenges natin.
Palawan, Cebu, Baguio City, Attorney Dwight, pati La Union. So we are saying that revenge travel is real.
Mas kailangan natin na i-share ang hiwaga ng sining sa mga tao.
Food and health should go hand in hand. So yan ang gusto namin paratingin sa gobyerno.
If you will just devote your life teaching, hindi ka yayaman sa pera, pero yayaman ka sa tao.
Siyempre, ang pinakamaganda po naman sa ating universidad ay yung talagang natuturuan po tayo kung paano maging mabuting tao.
Happy anniversary to Bridges. Here at Bridges, we build bridges of faith, bridges of hope, and bridges of love.
Stories are great sources of knowledge of the past. Stories of the past that make us understand the present are traditionally referred to as history. However, some may also refer to it as her story. Some sing stories of triumphs and disasters, while some write poems about places, people, and experiences of the past. Music and poems may serve as a powerful means to incite recollection of the past and wake up a strong feeling within us. Our episode will bring us back in time through cooking and eating. Wow, two things I enjoy. With our very special guest who was born in and grew up in and still living in a very historic town. And this is what Bridges is all about, providing you with lifelong learning from our very own alumni who have distinguished themselves excellently in their different fields of endeavor. This episode is brought to you by the College of Education Alumni Association Incorporated, the UST Alumni Association Incorporated, and our sponsor, Katinko, a product of Greenstone Pharmaceutical HK Incorporated. So hello, I am Claude Despabiladeras, an alumnus of the College of Education, and hello to all our viewers around the world. Magandang umaga, magandang hapon, at magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat saan man kayo naroroon ngayon. And I'm happy to be hosting this episode with Miss Nanette Ochoa Fernandez, an alumna also of the College of Education and the Secretary of the College of Education Alumni Association Incorporated. Hello, Miss Nanette.
Hello, Claude. Hi, good
Welcome to
evening
Bridges.
po. Magandang gabi, magandang umaga, magandang hapon sa inyong lahat. And our first greeter is from Tokyo, ha? If you are looking at our live commentary, good evening, Attorney Dwight, he's in Tokyo. Nasa Tokyo, Japan, ang ating presidente.
Hello, Attorney. Thank you so much for joining us. Ma'am,
how are you, Claude? Kumusta ka?
I'm very good. It's nice that because we're hosting together, I'm excited about that. It's our second time to host together.
Yes, that's
the last
right.
time was, I think it was last year.
With Monsignor Jerry.
Yes, I
think,
remember.
Yeah.
I remember that episode. Ma'am, because I mentioned it, kumusta ba ang College of Education Alumni Association at ang UST Alumni Association? And I heard that the TAC newsletter is about to come out. Is that true?
That's true. First of all, College of Education Alumni Association will have a General Assembly on July 8th.
Wow.
Dapat nandun ka, ha?
Of course.
It's on site and online, and you can register through the official USTAAI Facebook page. That's on July 8 from 9 to 12 noon. And of course, ang USTAAI naman, as I said, meron tayong bagong presidente in the person of Attorney Dwight Ramos. And we're about to come out with the TAC newsletter. TAC means Thomasian Alumni Community newsletter. And we're also preparing the material for the next issue. So if you have, ano ba ang TAC alumni, ang TAC newsletter? It's actually a quarterly publication. And so it's a record, parang ano na rin, documentation of all the things that are happening in our alumni associations at the UST Alumni Association Incorporated. Kaya kung buhay ang alumni association nyo, susulat kayo ng article at ipapadala nyo sa amin. Yay!
Wow, at marami tayong malalaman ng mga balita tungkol sa mga iba't ibang alumni ng UST College of Education, di ba po, ma'am?
Yes, kasi yan ang mga source ng kwentuhan, di ba?
And ma'am, since you mentioned kwento, marami tayong pagkakwentuhan ngayong araw na ito. At hindi basta-basta ordinaryong kwento, hindi po ba, ma'am?
Of course. Kasi ang magaling na storyteller itong ating guest. I'm a big fan. Talaga lang, sa totoo lang.
Yeah,
ano pa na ba? I-introduce ko na, hindi pa, no?
Oh, ma'am, we're excited to know who our guest is. But before that, of course, we would like to remind our viewers, please like, share, and follow our Facebook page, UST Alumni Association Incorporated, and subscribe to our TAC YouTube channel. Just click the button so you can be part of the worldwide Thomasian alumni community. And so now, ma'am, yes, please do the honor. Introduce our guest.
Okay. Napaka-dignified ang ating ng ating guest. Our guest for today is Mr. Edwin Guinto, an alumnus of the UST College of Education, history major. Hindi siya nakapagturo, pero sinasabuhay niya ang pagtuturo ng history or kasaysayan. As you said, he cooks and he acts. Those are two things that are dear to both our hearts. Okay, he is also a graduate of he took business management and marketing at Edith Cowan University in Western Australia. So marunong din siya mag-strine. Okay. His studies in business led him to engage in business together with his wife, the beautiful Mabel, na pinupuri niya as magaling, mabait, at magaling mag-design. Oh, talaga naman. He became a proprietor of the Australis apparel that supplied garments in Rustans, SM Boutiques, Gaisano Malls, Landmark, Robinsons, name the big department stores, he was there. Okay, but later they engaged also in manufacturing of bottled purified water at nag-refilling station din sila. Then they went to the food service industry, and now he runs the Cafe Antiques in Cavite. A cafe that if you follow him on Facebook, talagang gusto nyong puntahan kasi it is full of history. It's called Cafe Antiques, and you know the antiques are restored by the owner himself, Edwin Guinto. So despite his engagements in business, his real love for history shines, and he's the president of the Cafe City Historical Society. Kaya marami tayo talagang mapagkwentuhan. He is a first-rate storyteller. So shall we introduce now our very handsome, in period costume, Edwin Guinto.
Buenas tardes con todos. Bienvenido. Alegre yo porque ya si invitado conmigo aquí. Muchas gracias. All right. Good afternoon to all. Welcome. I'm so happy to be here and thank you very much.
Adios, patria adorada. Joke. Joke. I wanted to say bro Edwin, because we're friends. Pero you're in your costume, so senor. Senor Edwin.
General.
Welcome to the show.
General
Edwin. You're finally here with us, and we are so happy and excited to know more about what you've been doing. And as you see, friends, our episode today is teacher ng Buhay na Kasaysayan, meaning Sir Edwin makes history come to life. He has many stories that he brings to life through his kitchen and the stage. Yeah, I know about the stage part because I got to witness it some weeks back, but it will be a discovery for me today yung ano naman yung kitchen part. So General Edwin, tell us what is so special with your cafe in Cavite City. Saan ito matatagpuan?
Actually, you can see it at 5125 Tiburgos Avenue in Caridad, Cavite City. We're a top-rated restaurant here in Cavite City. I'm proud to say that because of positive customer reviews on TripAdvisor, on Yelp, on Google, and on Facebook. And then we make different assorted kind. I'm also a barista, so I make a different kinds of coffee concoctions. And mostly we serve our Italian cuisines with a Caviteño twist, of course, and a little bit of history about our national heroes, so to speak. Yes.
Oo nga. Talagang buhay na buhay ang kasaysayan sa cafe niya. Not only because of the antiques that surrounds the area, but also because he's also known for producing historical Cavite food. Alam nyo, ano talaga ay the CFP team, the College of Education officers, have visited twice Cafe Antiques already. Hindi ako nakasama and I really apologize, but I will truly go one of these days. Okay? All right. So what does it serve? It serves Italian food. I heard, no? Nakikita ko Facebook friend ko si Edwin. And I think you should also follow him on Facebook. Kasi interesting yung mga ano niya. Very interesting ang mga posts ni Edwin. He's also got a great sense of humor. But let us allow Edwin first of all to tell us, ano ba ang mga Caviteño historical food items that are found in your cafe?
Oh, actually, yes. Marami, ano pinagmamalaki ng Cavite City as in rich cultural and food history nila, no? Because of the galleon trade, we learn a lot from the different recipes from different countries. Isa doon yung mga pinagmamalaki namin ay yung mga bibingkoy, yung bacalao, especially yung bacalao. Bacalao is a yes, it's a salted codfish na nakuha namin during the galleon trade. Actually, uso to during the Lenten season because of the Catholics' tradition of meat abstinence. One twist that I did is that I put the bacalao. I put the bacalao on a freshly kneaded dough, put some mozzarella cheese, and voila! It's so tasty. And then we also use the local quesillo for our pizza. I'm an expert on pizza, so I can actually put anything and everything on pizza. And then I just put mozzarella cheese. Put it in a brick oven, and it's just so amazing. Right? You should try it. And then of course, I always try to promote the Cavite City heritage as well. So every time I cook my food, I bring a lot of stories to it. It's just to promote it, just to make it more tasty. It's an experience, not just for the taste, but for all the senses, so to speak.
Yes. I know you also have a lot of foreign guests in your cafe, no? Madalas nakikita ko mga pictures ng mga puti at saka ano. But I was wondering why you started with Chavacano, and I realized that because of the galleon trade, that's the reason why Chavacano is part of your local dialect, your local language in Cavite, right?
Yes. So nung panahon, ever since there's a galleon trade, it became the language of trade, no? So it's a mixture of Spanish and the Tagalog word, no? Unlike in Zamboanga, it's mostly Spanish and the Visayan language, no? And here actually it's I consider it as an endangered dialect, no? Not much people speak of it. So unti-unti medyo nag-deteriorate ng speak. Like what I said, ma'am, nung nag-uusap tayo, no? My grandparents speak fluent Spanish, and then my parents speaks fluent Chavacano. As for me, siguro mga 50-50 na lang. And then my kids actually doesn't even know how to speak it. They understand it. So I'm afraid that for the next generation, it might be an extinct dialect, just like what happened in Ermita. The Ermita Chabacano became extinct. No, so one of our advocate here is not just promoting our history and culture, and also our dialect, the Chavacano language, you know. So yun po.
Yeah. Of course, we know Cavite as the where Emilio Aguinaldo raised the first Philippine flag, right? And
Yes.
alam mo kung paano iluto ang paborito ni Presidente Emilio Aguinaldo. Would you like to share that with us, please, Edwin?
Yeah. Yes, of course. No, actually, ipagmamalaki ko nga na ang nagturo sa akin ito ay si yung great-great-grandson ni General Emilio Aguinaldo, my friend, Mr. Angelo Aguinaldo, and together with Chef Christopher Karangian, the Culinary Generals. No? So, tinuruan niya ako paano gumawa nito. It's the good thing about the pansiteno, it's so hard to do. Should we show the video now? Siguro, it's so hard to do. There's so many ingredients, and what's unique about it is that it has patola. Very yun ang unique ingredient. It has liempo. It has shrimp.
Liempo.
Yes, actually. And then if we're gonna show them the video, it's actually it's so many procedures that you have to do, but it's so healthy. And then a lot of people were asking why Henoy? No, and then I asked Angelo Aguinaldo about it. It's because of the general thing. It's like a playful word for general, Henoy. No, so that's the way they do it. No, and then one secret for the kasi the unique ingredient or the is patola. No, if ever you're gonna use the patola, buy the rib one. No, not the smooth one. Oo, kasi the smooth one is
hindi ko alam.
So buy the one with the rib. And then, because the smooth one are very mapait, no? So hindi masarap. It's very bitter, no? So we're showing the this is the liempo actually. So usually the first thing that we're gonna do there is we're gonna boil it. Ayan, meron tayong may mga atay, of course the shrimp, tiki and bihon. We're gonna use it, and of course the repolyo, carrots, kinchay, bagu beans, and of course garlic and onions. So usually the basic. And then what you can see here is yung pinagbalatan ng shrimp. You use a mortar and pestle, and then the juice of it, we're gonna use it later. So lahat ng juices ng pansitenoy gagawin natin. So once na pinapakulo na yung we're gonna make the sauce, no? So that's a mixture of the pinagkuluan ng baboy, and then we put the yung pinagdiktikan ng shrimp and some rice flour. And then we're gonna start, cooking the garlic. We're gonna make it crispy, really cooked. And half of it we're gonna use it for cooking, and half of it we're gonna use it for topping with calamansi. So a little bit procedure. Actually, he's gonna do this. I have to take the video. So siya talaga ang magaling magluto. So after that, we can after the garlic, we can mix the onions and then the liempo. So we're gonna cook the liempo. So and then we can add the chorizo macao, right? And of course we can add the atay. Right? Very, very tasty. I'm sure the reason why this is the favorite General Aguinaldo is, mahilig siya talaga sa pansit, and he needs a lot of vegetables, especially during his old age. And then we can add the shrimp once the liempo is already cooked. There you go. So very tasty. Claude, nakikita mo na parang naamoy na natin, di ba?
Oo nga eh. We can smell the garlic and all of it.
So it's a mix. It's an explosion of flavor. Yeah. Then we can add the carrots. Siguro it's better to leave it a little bit crispy para medyo mas maganda yung mouthfeel, and of course the bagu beans. So now a lot of mixture. Actually, matagal dyan is preparation eh. The actual cooking.
Ang daming ginagaya at daming
yes, the preparation is yung pinakaayaw ko. Buti na lang si Mrs. ang nag-prepare. So we can add the repolyo. Pansiteno is like consistency of parang what do you call this? Parang lomi, no? So medyo masabaw siya. And we can add the patola, no? Very, very tasty. Patola tastes so good actually. Once na naluto siya, nag-wilt na siya with the juices and the sauce of it, it tastes so good. It tastes so different than the regular pancit that we usually eat. It's a combination of flavors. seafood, kimchi, yeah, we're gonna add it.
Pinchay.
Yes.
Mm.
So then, siguro if you wanna, you can taste it after the sauce, and then you can add some salt and pepper, no, depending on your taste. Just gonna add it.
Nilalagyan ba ng patis or
No,
toyo?
no, hindi po. Toyo na lang po, no? So we add soy sauce, and then you can add more if you have to try it, no? If it's still matabang, so you have to add toyo. Then a lot of mixture, and then we're gonna mix it with the broth. Now remember sa natin
Napakakapal ng
pinakuluan.
broth, no?
Yes, pinakuluan ng
Very
baboy,
rich.
yung sa shrimp, yung dinikdik, and of course the rice flour. And then we can mix it. And then it has to be a little bit watery, just like a lomi consistency. So you can add water. And for that, if it's too salty, you can still add water, or if it's matabang naman, you can add salt
Pwede
and
mo
pepper.
pang remedyohan.
Yes, so mahahabol pa yan. And of course, the miki and bihon. We're on the plating na, no? And then we're just gonna put it on top. And then, yeah,
So you
masarap.
just
It's very
boil
tasty.
the
Yes,
bihon and the miki
you just boil it.
separately?
And then you can plate it, and then you can present it like that. And then you can
Wow.
add, yes, masarap.
Ay,
It's very
sarap.
tasty, it's very heavy on the tummy because of all the ingredients.
Ginugutom ako.
As a topping, no? Calamansi, serve it calamansi and more garlic. And then that's it, the pancit Hanoi. No?
Wow, ang
Masarap.
sarap.
Siguro next time, pag pumasyal kayo dito, I'll ask people to cook it for you kasi ayoko magluto. Mahirap eh.
So that's on your menu in
Oh,
Cafe
no.
Antiques?
Yes,
it's not?
for the pancit, it's not, no. It's usually by special request kasi it
Ah.
doesn't really pair nicely with a
Yeah,
cup
with
of
the
coffee.
Italian.
Oo.
yeah.
But the bacalao, it's actually on the
Oo.
menu every Lenten season. So we make it on a pizza. We put bacalao on pasta. So it's really a taste of Caviteño with a lot of history on it. So yun ang pinopromote pa namin dito. Yes. So,
Sabihin ko
nagutom ka na ba?
magpapansit na lang kami mamayang gabi. Gutom talaga. Very filling.
Mapansit mode ka.
Very filling at saka ang daming ingredients. Diba? At saka ang
Oo.
ganda nung pagka-present.
Yes, oo. Actually, nanalo yan, Sir Claude. Pinaluto ako noon sa Umagang Kay Ganda. And then sa I Wonder. And then it won, no? There was a friendly competition between what is the favorite of Emilio Aguinaldo versus the favorite pancit of Dr. Rizal, which is pancit lang, no? And of course, since marami ingredients talaga yung Hanoi is talagang nanalo siya talaga. Well, it's a friendly cook-off lang naman. So,
What makes that even more special is the story behind it, diba?
yes.
Yes. Another feature of your restaurant is yung coffee ninyo na sinaserve. Meron siyang historical design. Would you like to tell us more about that, sir?
Oh yeah. Actually ito may tayo. So usually every special historic event, like for example the Battle of Mactan, I'm gonna draw what do you call this, lapu-lapu, no? So and then of course during February 17 is the Gumbursa, no? During Rizal Day I'm gonna draw Dr. Rizal, or if it's Bonifacio Day I'm gonna draw Bonifacio, and I'm gonna put some article in it. Of course General Emilio Aguinaldo, all right? And then a different one, Battle of Manila Bay, no, with Commodore Dewey and the USS Olympia. No, I can draw it. And of course, our local hero, Don Julian Felipe, the composer, he's a Caviteño as well. And of course, General Gregorio del Pilar, no, the Aguila of. Anyway, so this is the what do you call this? Thing that you see here is the Aguinaldo Shrine. And sometimes I cook, like for that, the pancit Hanoi with Emilio Aguinaldo on the picture, and a favorite of Rizal, which is one of the favorites, Bistek Tagalog, right? And then the favorite of Tandang Sora is the what do you call this? The Tinolang manok. Yes, I'm sorry. And of course, yung mga bagets natin, si Gregorio del Pilar, yung mga kakanin, yung mga matatamis, kasi bata pa siya, no? So yun ang mga favorite niya. And of course, the Calyos, one of the favorite of the composer of our national anthem, Don Julian Felipe. No, so sometimes during special occasions, so I'm gonna make my coffee and then I'm gonna present it. I'm gonna post it on social media, and it makes it more interesting. So I'm gonna put a small write-up. What's the reason behind that? What are we celebrating? And like today, actually, today is the 160th birthday of Don Ladislao Diwa, one of the founders of Katipunan together with Andres Bonifacio and Teodoro Plata. No, so yun nga lang, unfortunately hindi ako nakagawa ng latte art, probably next time, no. So yun, it's a way of reaching out to Gen Zs and millennials that once they see the coffee, I said, oh, this is so cool. I mean, so what's the story behind it? So it's my chance to tell them about, this is our national hero, and then this it's a big contribution. We should always remember him. It's a creative way of telling a story.
Diyan lumalabas ang pagiging teacher, yung history teacher mo. And then we're really all grateful that it is your way of making history live.
Yes.
Hindi lang sa kusina, pati sa kape.
So
yung kape mo, do you also serve? Kasi meron kang mga pairing, di ba? Na pinakita mo yung mga paborito nila. It's strictly Italian, your coffee shop.
Well, may mga American din kami, usually burgers and fries. Kasi we have to give in to the request of customers. Kasi mostly Italian, kasi hindi naman gusto rin ng lahat. So sometimes pero mostly talaga is Italian, no? Kasi it's the best paired with a cafe latte, which is originally from Italy rin. So yeah, and everything is from scratch, especially our pizza, no? So usually other restaurant will serve will buy pre-made dough. As for us, I studied the Italian class, so I made the dough, everything from scratch. So every day I make the dough, I make it from flour and everything, and then we make the sauce, and then upon order lang, that's the time we're gonna need it. I'm gonna make it, but usually it just takes 15-20 minutes for a pizza, and it tastes so good. So you gotta try it, Claude and Ma'am Nanette, no? Kasi ang siyapi nga natikman na nila lahat, and
Oo nga eh.
Expect both of us soon.
Yes. They were raving about Cafe Antiques, and they had very nice photos. Meron ba tayong do you have anything to show what it's like inside the cafe? Because I know what it looks like, because I'm a follower of your what do you call this, your Cafe Antiques, and
Yes.
we are friends on Facebook.
Yes.
Actually, you're there right now, right?
Oh yes. Actually, closing time na rin. So I like the place kasi nga I'm using the kapis, and of course our picture of me and my wife, with an old frame. No? So this is the best spot. As for me, if I can only show you around, unfortunately I can't turn around the laptop, no, so you can see the inside of it. Everything you see is actually a lot of conversation pieces. For even the vinyl, even the old electric fans, the century-old electric fans, and then old telephones, the rotary phones. Actually, I'm gonna tell you, I don't know if we still have time. No, a lot of millennials are asking me, how do you play the vinyl? No, yung turntable. No, because I'm using vinyl. No, and then I said, oh, you have to
record.
Yes, either 45 or 33. No, the good thing about it is I'm gonna show it, and then I said that it's an analog music. No, and then what I tell them is that before, during our time, our music was tangible. Now you can hold your music. Actually, I can brag about my album, the Beatles album, whatever, because it costs so much, and you can brag about my collection of albums. Unlike today, who's gonna ask you hey, can I see your playlist on Spotify? No, nobody cares about it. And then for another one, it's for the rotary phone. No? A lot of kids are asking. They're gonna ask, how do you use the rotary phone? I said,
Hindi nila alam, no?
Yes, hindi nila alam. So they're gonna raise the handset. I said, dial one by one, and then so I said, what if you make a mistake? I said, oh, you're gonna dial again, and then they're gonna say, that's so hard. Yes, I know, but the good thing about it is that during our time, we memorize our crush's number by heart. We memorized it. All right. So ngayon, I'm sure pag nawala yung mga cellphones nila, wala na sila. Everything is lost. As for me, I still remember my old phone numbers, sa old house phone numbers. I still remember it. Yes, diba?
Ako din.
So, yun yung mga nawawala.
922-317.
373-2177.
Wow.
Ikaw, Edwin? Anong number mo?
3782. You know why? Only 4 numbers. Kasi we were inside a base. Sandy Point. So we're using an outside line. So we have to call it then, and then we're gonna request for an outside line so I can call the Manila during that time. Yeah, it was so hard, a lot of work. But it's easy. You can be invisible during that time, right? Unlike
Right,
today.
right. Kahit hindi ka pa nagsusuklay, okay. Basta maganda boses mo, okay na, di ba?
Sir Edwin, so going to your restaurant is like hitting two birds with one stone. It's satisfying gastronomically and intellectually because of what you teach, especially to those who do not know, the millennials. They discover all these things from our time.
Di naman, bata ka pa. Time namin ni Ma'am
Yeah. Pero alam nyo mga kaibigan, si Edwin hindi lang binubuhay ang kasaysayan sa kusina at sa kanyang cafe, kundi actor din yan. Actually, if you noticed, he is in a rayadillo. He's in costume. I was wondering, do you display your costumes in your coffee shop?
For now, hindi kasi walang lugar, no? Pero every time there's a friend, I'm trying to encourage them, like Claude here. I'm trying to encourage them to join our reenactment. I'm actually a member of Republica Filipina Reenactment Group, with Sir Joshua, Sir Alex, no? They're professionals, military historians, and researchers, no? And we perform historical reenactments. And actually, one of them was we were hired by NHCP. We were tasked to do a movie, to act in a movie. It's called Gumbursa, actually. Ma'am, napanood niyo po yun, ma'am, diba? Yes, during the premiere show sa Metropolitan, nandun si ma'am. No, and then everybody should see it kasi it's a very historic, and it tells the story how the Philippine Revolution was born up to where we declared our national independence. So it was a chain of events. And I keep saying here to sa mga Caviteños, fellow Caviteños, it started here, 1872, the Cavite Mutiny, which is just nearby my place. It's Fort San Felipe or Cavite Arsenal, no? So isa yun ang mga inano natin. And sadly, maraming Caviteño ang di nakakaalam. So but at least, no, we're trying to teach them slowly. We get them to try their attention through creative ways, no, like historical reenactments. And then, ma'am, can I just tell, actually, just last Sunday, we just finished the reenactment, the battle reenactment of Siege of Lipa from the actual place, at Lipa Cathedral, no? It's the first time that it was a battle reenactment was played at the exact event, no? So at the exact place, no? So it's a very momentous event, 125th, no? It was an 11-day siege, and I played as a Spanish Colonel Navas, no? I was defiant then, and then I was defeated by the Patangueño hero, General Eleuterio Marasigan, no? So the RFRG is very active in these events, no? We have the same advocates. And I keep saying that yung mga historical reenactments, like reenactors like RFRG and other reenacted group are a special rare breed of men. Kasi biro nyo, ang laki ng ginagastos nila with the uniforms, and most of them are professionals. And yet, if there's a reenactment schedule, they would talaga hindi sila papasok, no, just to attend it. And then we don't, sometimes there's not even a payment for that. Usually just transpo and pagkain. Minsan nga wala pang pagkain. And yet we do it, no? And the reward is that pag nakita namin yung mga nanonood, no, then they're so happy with it. And yun na yung pag ganun, at least na-send namin yung message na this is our advocacy, we should relive our history. And sadly nga lang kasi, ma'am, isa rin kasi sa reason is because most Filipinos, ang alam lang nilang pagkapanalo ng mga Pilipino is during the Battle of Mactan, which is yung kay Lapu-Lapu. Yun lang, sabi, kailan ba nanalo ang Pilipino? Sabihin nila, si Lapu-Lapu nung natalo niya si Magella. No, marami tayong napanalunan, no? Like the Battle of Imos, the Siege of Lipa, no? The Battle of Alapan, no? So maraming mga battles na yun nga lang nakalimutan na. So we're trying to relive it, no? So through example, and at least the students or everybody, every Filipino should be proud of it, no? So we should know our identity, no? We as Filipinos, no, not as K-pop or followers or so. We should trace our roots, look back, and then see who really are, and the sacrifices made by our national heroes, no? So yun ang mga advocacies namin dito sa RFRG, no, sa reenactment group namin.
Sir, in a way, it's your service to the country, you and your group.
Yes.
Yes. All right. Yes.
And you're really teaching them, no? Na sabi mo nga, hindi lang Mactan ang pinakalo ng Pilipino, marami pa tayong battles that we have won. And this is a good way of doing it. Ilan kayo sa reenactment group niyo?
Actually, maraming klaseng na reenactment group. Merong mga Buhay na Kasaysayan, merong mga Siriaco Brigade sa Bulacan, meron din sa Cebu, and then meron din sa Laguna, meron din sa ano. So pero ito so far itong Republika Filipina reenactment mo, which is usually based in Manila, malimit kami nagkakaroon ng place sa Intramuros, no? It's one of the biggest. I think more than 40 to 50 members, no? Every time there's a battle reenactment or a reenactment like the unfurling of the flag, usually around 30 to 50 reenactors will come, no? And then it's such a pretty sight kasi biro nyo nakikita nyo yung mga yung naka-time period rayadillos or mga nakasandatahanes, no? Like what I'm wearing right now is the Mambisa Rayadillo, no? It was designed by the Luna brothers, no? During the Filipino-American War. I'm a lieutenant general here, no? Teniente general, no? And then a lot of guys, the military researchers like Diego Magalona, really search for this the accuracy of the uniform, no? And then even yung mga ano natin, yung mga buttons, no? Meron siyang yung mythical sun, which is accurate, researched by Perry Javier, no? So marami. We collaborate and then to make up a good history. But of course, minsan may mga inaccuracies na sa uniform, then we can change it later. Like what I said before, kala nga nung iba noon ang salute is the European style or the British style. And then there was one document that we saw, Spaniards actually saluting like this. So maybe we can adjust, no? So we can still change it. So yun po ang mga ano namin yun.
Do you meet regularly, this reenactment group? At saka paano kayo naghahanda kung merong malaking 50 people, for example? Where do you meet?
Oh, yeah. Good question. Actually, nung pinakamalaking meet namin nun, yung Siege of Lipa, no? Mahigit 50 reenactors. So, nag-meet sila sa Intramuros, then sa PITX. So, may mga, kasi nagpo-provide usually yung LGU or the one organizer, provide a transpo. Either it's a bus or a van, depending sa number of people. And then they have to provide, syempre, yung pagkain din. Kasi we're carrying replica guns, even cannons actually. So medyo mabigat talaga ang ano namin. And then yung last time is yung May 28 event, yung first unfurling ng flag dito sa Cavite City sa Teatro Caviteño kasama si Claude. At yun, isang buong bus, no? So sinundo sila sa Intramuros, sa PITX. So may mga meetups siya. Medyo mahirap i-organize pero after the event, no, when you see event, minsan tatayo ang balahibo mo after the event. It's minsan mapapaluwa. Actually, Sir Claude, I forgot to tell you, no, nung time na nag-reenact tayo doon, nung May 28, the great-grandson of General Noriel went there. Actually, he's a medical doctor. My friends told me that he rarely goes out of the house. But when he heard that there was a reenactment, he went out of his way and personally witnessed it. And he said, sabi nga ng mga nanonood is parang teary-eyed nga raw nung napanood niya kasi talaga nakakatayo rin ng balahibo. It's like time travel, no? And then the RFRG are professional reenactors. Talagang in character kami, no? So kung Kastila ako, talagang magka-Kastila ako, no? Tapos talagang mayabang, walang tatawa sa amin, no? Then kapag may mga action scenes kami, kahit tumatawa yung mga nanonood sa amin, we're still in character, no? Hanggang sa matapos ang show. So that's what I love about the reenactment group, no? Talagang professionals and yun maaasahan din. No?
The reenactment group members are engaged in different professions, po ba?
Yes. Actually, some of them are professors, some of them are social workers as well. And then so marami sila. And then most, and actually the good thing, right? Most of them are students. All right, and I'm so happy about it. I mean, they're so engaged with the history. Mas marami actually ang bata, no? Millennials and Gen Zs are joining us, no? And they would usually play as sandatahanes or mga soldados, no? And then the good thing nga pala is I was able to invite mga expats, mga Briton. Nung May 28 event, they joined me to play.
Mga customers mo?
Yes, mga customers ko. Sabi ko,
recruitment center pala.
Yes, so sabi ko, we should join us as a reenactor. We could play as Spaniards. No, and it was so cool. So they bought their own Spanish uniforms, the guerreras. No, so and then when the people saw them, it's true, like they're actors, but yet they're Caucasian, right? Really Spanish, So ang ganda, ang ganda. So ito ang tinataguyod namin, and the group is still growing, and we're still recruiting. And then other groups, I also encourage other groups to form their own,
So are you based in a university like UST or school? If we want to enlist, how do we go about doing that?
Oh yeah, actually you can check out the Facebook page of Republica
We
Filipina.
want to enlist, how do we go about doing that?
Continue, sir. You were saying?
Oh yes, you can check out the Facebook of Republica Filipina Reenactment Group, and you can there's a registration form in there, and then you can log in there, and then you can know how can you come in, because there are trainings, so not everyone can be accepted. So there you have to pass through a certain training period. Usually in Intramuros, I think I told you about this, Claude, no? There's a training period for that, and then I think a 2-week training period, because usually they teach it in Spanish commands, no? Kasi hindi naman talagang yung katulad ng modern ngayon, no? So pati yung marching, but the way you hold the guns. So marami, and usually si Marco Abutog ang nag-train on. He's very good at it. So
I'm happy to tell you, sir, that we have many viewers online, and they are reacting to what we have discussed and what you've shared with us so far. One is the Goberto Ferdinand Torres Lagumbay III.
Yes.
Said, do you know him?
Oh yes, he's a Facebook friend of mine. Actually, he was there during the May 28th event. I met him.
As a cast or as an audience?
As an audience for now, right?
Okay. So he said, Chavacano in Cavite City should be preserved because it is dying. Our Chavacano in Zamboanga, where I was born, is being preserved by way of legislation.
Yes, yes, I agree. Yeah.
Tapos, then he also added, because you showed it here, I am now going to order that from your restaurant. Maybe the coffee or the pancit. Yes. Okay. Also, Ma'am Evelyn Sonko, she said, very great cafe. Right, she's been there.
Yes,
and Fernando Pedrosa, watching with all the rest from my Quezon City residence, despite my fever now, get well soon as sir. Right. And also Ma Marilyn Cano, making history alive in our hearts. Thank you, Edwin, for making teaching a part of your craft, not only in the classroom, but in so many other circumstances. Congratulations, Edwin. So those are just a few of the comments that we've gathered from Facebook.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for the feedback. Nice feedbacks.
Yeah, we do have a lot more. So, sir, history is a very challenging subject to teach po, with the many dates, events, and personalities that come with it na kailangang matandaan. And it's much more challenging to the students also because, they just sit through the subject for compliance tuloy. Alam ko po marami tayong educators na nanonood ngayon. Ano po ang advice nyo sa kanila, lalo na yung mga nagtuturo ng kasaysayan, para maging buhay at makahulugan ang kanilang pagtuturo ng kasaysayan?
So, I suggest, you have to be more creative, We have to be more creative in our teaching, Because usually, there's a lot of distractions nowadays, because of Facebook, social media. So we have to take those distractions away from them. And one good thing is through a show, or like what we do through reenactments. Although it's very hard, but you tell them like a story, and most people would remember it better. Just like me, actually, I'm a really bad and I hate reading actually. So I enjoy more in watching. So that's how I learned most of my stuff, because of the available medias that are provided nowadays. And then also in history, we shouldn't just remember the what, when, all right, and who, right? We should also ask the question of why, all right? Why did this certain individual or hero did that, all right? So we have to use our critical thinking as well. So for example, bakit ginawa ni Jose Rizal yung ginawa niya hanggang sa yung tuloy, pinatay siya, na martyr siya, So you have to ask the questions as well. Kahit ba ilustrado siya, mayaman siya, and yet he went out of his way, his usual life. Hindi siya papayag na manood na lang at nakikita niya yung mga mali, And then like that, and then and that's one of the reason why. No, so why did Emilio Aguinaldo, no, fought the Spaniards, even though he already has a good life here in Cavite? So those are the questions, because they're also humans, no? So you have to go inside their minds. So they make mistakes, but what makes them a hero is like what I asked is, why did they do that, right? They went out of their way just to help other people, hindi lang dahil sa sarili nila, kasi they saw the mistakes, they saw the wrongdoings, they saw the maltreatments. So I guess for educators, I would suggest is also ask the question, why?
Totoo naman, no? Talagang critical thinking is something that we should really teach our kids. And as you said, drama, allowing them to do tasks that reenact history is a good way of helping our students understand why things happen. Lalo na sa panahon ngayon na we are living history actually. In 20, 25 years time, we will go back and look at this time and know that we have been part of it, and we really should all help to make the Philippines a better place to live in.
Yes.
Okay.
Totally agree.
Nakakatuwa, Edwin. Truly, we are grateful that there are people like you. And the way you tell us now, hindi ka nag-iisa kasi may reenactment group. Sa Cavite ba? Ikaw ba ang sentro ng reenactment group sa Cavite?
Yun nga, for now, ako lang ang reenactor dito. And of course, my expat friends, no, na medyo na-recruit ko. Pero RFRG reenactment group is planning to have a Cavite brigade. So they're gonna come here and to train my new recruits. Although it's so hard to recruit because we don't have a budget. And if I'm gonna recruit students, then medyo mahal kasi ang uniform, no? Pero they could dress up as sandatahanes. Remember, Claude, how I suggested, if you don't have a uniform, you can wear the buri hat or the camisa chino and probably a red pants or a checkered pants, or go barefoot and then probably carry we call this a bolo, no, na hindi bladed, or a sibat made of kawayan na walang tulis, no, kasi hindi po pwede kasi security reasons, no. And then pero the good thing is that I'm also the president of Cavite City Historical Society, and with the help of our local historians like Sir Willie Pangilinan and Ma'am Remedios of Remedios Ordones of the Cavite City Tourism Department, we're promoting the not just Cavite City as a very historic place, because everything happened here. Most of the things are very historic, like the galleon trade, the Cavite Mutiny of 1872, which is they called the grandmother of the Philippine Revolution, because it all started here. And then Battle of Manila Bay. It's actually a lot of people don't know that it actually happened here, because mostly they would confuse Manila Bay as the place where the Commodore Dewey bombed the Spanish fleet. Actually, the Spanish fleet was docked here in Fort San Felipe, so it should be called the Battle of Canyacao Bay. No, that's the properly called it. And of course, the 13 Martyrs execution. Right? Iba pa yung 13 Martyrs ng Bagong Bayan, no? Meron tayong Cavite 13 Martyrs dito. And of course, my favorite is the first unfurling of the Philippine flag, no? Sadly, most students actually would believe na tatanungin mo, saan unang pinakita ang Philippine flag? And they would usually answer sa Kawit, no? Pero ang through research, based on research, guided ng mga historians, it was the 4th time that it was shown, no? The first time was actually here in Cavite Puerto at Teatro Caviteño. Actually, we celebrated that's why it's the start of the Flag Day, May 28. After the Battle of Alapan, Spanish prisoners were presented to General Aguinaldo who was based at Teatro Caviteño, and that's the first time he unfurled the Philippine flag, no, but no national anthem yet. And then the second time, I think it was in Binakayan, and then the third one is in Bacoor, and then the 4th time is in Kawit na, which is the formal one. No, so maraming mga loopholes in sa history, and that's why the reason why a lot of researchers are making a study out of it. So to correct history, no, and we should know this, no, not just a generalization.
Tayo di ba?
Yes, so and we should be proud of it. No, yun yung mga pinaghilapan ng mga natin. Yes.
Sir, since you mentioned all that, it sounds like a lot of work and you do need all the support you can get. So ano po yung masasabi niyong most challenging work you have done in preserving our history?
Oh, yes. Actually, like what I said, yung May 28th event again, no? The problem is, kasi medyo controversial. The May 28th event, yung first unfurling ng flag is being claimed by Imus City. Actually, it was there was a presidential proclamation by Diosdado Pacapagal na saying na ang Imus ang first unfurling ng Philippine flag at nangyari doon yung battle. And executive order of President Ramos said that, also said that the unfurling of the flag happened there. But through history, through research like the books of Gervasio Pangilinan, even Felipe Buencamino, and of course the diaries of General Emilio Aguinaldo, he said that actually unfurled here, coming from Hong Kong, as yung pinakita niya yung unfurlingan ng flag, no? But it also, palagi siyang kiniklaim ng Imus. So I also suggesting sana to our congressman to lobby for it, to amend the EO and the presidential proclamation, and then to set way. Kasi actually na-recognize na kami na National Historical Commission. During that event, bumisita si Chairman Calairo dito to observe the event, and it said, and he said that this is the first time that the National Flag Day was celebrated twice. Usually it's just once, no? Previous years, it was just at Imus, Alapan. But now, morning in Alapan and then afternoon at Cavite Puerto or yung Teatro Caviteño. So this is very challenging kasi maraming controversies. Medyo may makakaaway ka, may mga nagbabash. Sabi, no, Imus is the place because Google it, it's there, no? Sasabihin sa'yo mga ganon. Pero hindi, we have facts, no? And we could back it up with authorities. You can just claim anything na, oh, this is what happened, but you can back it up with anything, no? You need documents to prove it, and we have it. And it was settled by, it was actually also said by the NHCP. And then of course, lalagyan natin ng mga historical markers. Yun ang mga projects ng Cavite City Historical Society. No? And of course, with the help of our FRG, ano namin yun. And the Culinary Generals. No? So yun ba.
Really goes to show that you have to do research, extra research to make sure that what you present is accurate in terms of dates, in terms of location, where it happened. Yeah.
Yeah, so... And mabuti nga kakolaborate na namin ang Cavite, the whole province, Cavite Historical Society, sila Dr. Diaz, at inano namin na yung maglalagay kami ng mga historical markers, especially inside Cavite Puerto. Actually, I should just tell this, no? Cavite Puerto is actually the sister of the Intramuros. It's supposed to be a walled city, no? May moat pa nga yan, no? Unfortunately, we were heavily bombed during the Japanese occupation and the American liberation. And then pinatag na. So nawala na yung walled city. May mini Intramuros kami dito. And we had at least 6 to 8 churches inside. No? And then one of the challenges is to put markers. And most of it are gone na talaga kasi nga after World War II, nawala na. And then isa nga sa mga goal namin is to put historical markers so people would remember. Diba? Kasi nakakalimutan na, natatabunan na, na-develop na. So we should put historical markers for future generations. No, so then probably a heritage walk. No, we have a curator. Then we can it will promote tourism definitely. No, for mga academics, mga scholars, and of course mga professors. No, so yung mga may hilig talaga sa history. No, so yun ang inaano namin sa LGU rito sa tourism. No, kasi wala kami masyadong infrastructure dito sa Cavite City, but we have very rich in history. No, so I think one of the goal. No, and siguro we should also promote it. In order for us, kasi nasa fourth class city pa rin ang Cavite City, no? Sadly, no? And probably we used to be the first class when the US bases was here, the American base at Sangley Point, no? Unfortunately, they left way back in 1971. It was just downhill from there. But well, we're helping the LGU, no, come up with the better plans of promoting Cavite City through tourism.
We're really grateful that there's somebody like you, and hopefully with this show, maraming mga maa-attract sa Cafe Antiques at mag-volunteer para be part of the reenactment. But you're truly a new storyteller, a new way of making education and history live through the reenactments, through your food, and through acting. Di ba? So thank you very much, Edwin. I'm a big fan. I'm even a bigger fan now, knowing that there's so much more that you do. Promote mo yung Gumbursa because that was really a video, a documentary that's worth watching. How can they access it?
Oh yeah, that's actually very easy lang. It's free anyway. It's a project of NHCP, so you can access it on YouTube. Just search Gumbursa documentary, and it's free. No, I'm also encouraging the Araling Panlipunan teachers. Everybody, the whole Philippines should watch it. Kasi ang dami nga nagsasabi na mga iba actually nung yung show, ma'am, yung during the Met premiere showing, yung mga naririnig ako umiiyak, kinikilabutan, naaawa. And then I don't know if you noticed, kasi I was wearing the Governor General Gala uniform. When I went out, a lot of students were looking at me badly kasi I'm the villain, diba? I'm the governor. And then a lot of students were having their picture taken with the three cast, the three priests, diba?
Yung mga bida.
Yes, yung mga bida. And then after that, they would look at me badly. I said, that's a villain. He's a bad guy, you know. And nagpakuha sa akin mga taga NHCP officials and of course yung mga
But that's
teachers.
the sure sign that you really did a good job of acting. Ano talagang Gobernador General talagang arrive ni doon, ni Edwin.
Thank you.
So thank you again, Edwin.
Yes.
We really hope that we wish you good luck, the Reenactment Society. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Alright, so alam niyo po, Sir Edwin, nabuhayan kami sa mga pagkwentuhan natin at natutunan natin ngayon sa Bridges. Marami pa sana tayo matututunan sa ating panauhin pero napakabilis ng takbo ng oras. Pero Sir Edwin, before we let you go, sa loob ng maikling pananalita, ano ang huling mensahe mo sa ating mga tagapanood lalo na sa pagpapahalaga at pagmamahal sa ating kasaysayan and also about the importance of restoring things from the past?
Oh, yeah. As a restorer, no, it's better actually if you buy yung mga heirloom items or yung mga old items, restore it kasi it has a lot of story to tell, no, a lot of history to tell, and then usually yung mga scars and things, it becomes a conversation piece, no, kahit sa bahay lang or lalo na sa isang restaurant, no. And of course, for teaching history again, I'm going to say it again. It's as for me, my suggestion is to better tell it like a story because people will remember it. No? And I keep telling my sometimes being invited as a guest speaker, I would usually tell them that history is never boring, and then that's why we're acting it. No, and then sometimes we have to look to the past to know where we are at present. All right, there is no future without the past, and there's no heritage without, there's no culture without heritage, and that's it. All right, thank you very much for your time, and thank you for it's been an honor being invited here, Mama Evelyn, Sir Claude. All right, and
Ma'am Nanette.
Yeah, Ma'am Nanette. Yes, Ma'am Nanette. Yes, yes. Of
Thank
course.
you,
Edwin.
Thank
It was
you.
really
Thank
a
you so-
pleasure talking to you.
Yes,
Thank you so
same here,
much. Thank you so much, Mr. Edwin Guinto. Indeed, you are the new breed of storyteller.
Gracias. Muchas gracias.
De nada.
Thank you so much. Dami nating natutunan mula sa iyo. And it has been a very insightful afternoon, and we wish you well in your cafe antiques, in your restoration, in your cooking, and in your acting. We hope to see you again. Ta-da! Okay, thank you very much, Edwin.
All right, bye-bye. Good night.
So it's also, by the way, graduation time, right? So we would like to congratulate all the UST Alumni Association members na mga bagong graduate. We wish you well in your professional journey, but we also hope that you have already registered in your college alumni associations. And we will always welcome you at the USTAAI. Okay. Also, I'd like to also say na isa pa sa mga something that we can look forward to at the USTAAI is the coming Thomasian's Icons book, Bridges of Faith, Hope, and Love. Malapit na po itong ma-print out. Hopefully, in the next month, we will be able to show you a real hard copy. Kasi nag-launch yan, Claude, nung May 6. They saw the digital copy, but it's now in the press and in the process of printing. And this is, as Edwin was saying, a legacy of Thomasians in not just for us as Thomasians, but also our contributions to nation building and how well we have done outside of the university. So please look out for that. At saka, at sinabi mo rin nga kanina, mapapanood nyo pa rin po ito muli if you would like to watch this episode and previous episodes of Bridges at our TAC, Thomasian Alumni Community YouTube channel. Please subscribe kasi kailangan natin yon. If you're a Thomasian, that's actually a heroic act already. If you subscribe, if you click like, and if you follow us on our Facebook page. Thank you very much, and we hope to see more likes and subscriptions soon.
Yes, and here on Bridges, we do not build walls, we build bridges, bridges of people, bridges of knowledge, and new learnings. And thank you very much for tuning in. Also, thank you for watching. Be with us again on Tuesday next week for another exciting and learning episode entitled Siglo ng Kalinga, the movie sponsored by the UST Nursing Alumni Association in celebration of the centennial of the Philippine Nurses Association. Remember, let us all together build and be bridges of faith, bridges of hope, and bridges of love. Good evening po, and mabuhay sa inyong lahat.
Good night.
Good night.